Hello, everybody, and welcome to the monthly Oracle Wisdom. My name is Natalie Sadie, and we are going to be having a look at the energies for the month of December. I have continued on with our pick a pile reading, so you can take a breath and intuitively pick which pile resonates with you. So today's picks for pile number one, we have my blue goldstone. Pile number two, we have the tiger's eye. And pile number three, we have the clear quartz. So before we dive into this, just take a moment, sit quietly, take a breath, and think about which crystal or crystals speak to you the most. And if you're ready, we're going to begin with pile number one. Okay, so for those of you that picked pile number one, which was the blue goldstone, we are going to get started. And as always, I have not looked at these cards. I did a meditation and I dealt them, and I get to see them for the first time with all of you. So we are using the Future Higher Self deck by Mahrukh. We have the Butterfly Effect cards by Mahrukh, and then I've got the Oracle of the Fairies, which are a Karen K deck. All right, so first card, something from your past will resurface. It's okay to revisit it. So, I mean, this card is perfect considering we are in the middle of a Mercury retrograde right now. If things from the past are coming up, it's normally when a planet is retrograde, and always when Mercury is retrograde. I always get a random phone call or message from somebody from the past, and like it says, it's okay to revisit. Just remember, there is a difference between revisiting and staying there. Usually things are left in the past because they no longer serve you. So use your judgment and discernment before diving too deeply into something. But, it's okay to speak to that person. Maybe an ex comes back. And sometimes these are the moments where you will finally get the answers that you've been seeking and needing for closure. And so often we don't get it. Sometimes enough time has passed that you're able to step into a new place with that person and actually establish a friendship. And when there's a deep enough soul connection, you're able to navigate that world once the hurt and romantic feelings and things like that have left. It could be something as simple as an old friend from school, college, university, work, who knows, but just be open to it. It's fine. Just don't let it be anything that sucks you back in and holds you there. Travel as much as you can. This will add dimension to your life. I'm a huge proponent of travel. I think travel is one of the most important things we can do, especially if you're able to leave the country that you're in. If you never leave your own country, you don't understand how the rest of the world functions. It's not that you intellectually can't understand it, but to witness how people live in the third world countries changes your perspective on everything that you have if you're living here in America or the United Kingdom or Australia, Canada, any of the first world countries. We are so blessed, and it's sometimes very easy to forget because we get caught up in the things that we want and the things that we need. And we don't always think from a more global perspective. The other thing is travel just creates new, incredible, and wonderful memories, and it opens you up to great experiences that you may not have otherwise had. So it makes your stories richer when you're sharing them with people, and it does add dimension to your life, as the card says. So if you get the opportunity, even if it's something as small as a road trip, take it. It's an adventure. Say yes. You will break free from all that no longer serves you. Okay, so December's going to be a big month for you. You've got travel, you've got yourself breaking free of the things that don't serve you. Sometimes that's a bit of a rougher journey when you're breaking free from things, but it can also be the most freeing thing that you'll ever experience, because the moment you realize that something doesn't serve you and you're able to walk away without feelings of guilt or anger, or I don't want to say sadness, because sometimes when we leave these things behind, there is a certain amount of sadness that we're leaving something that we once thought was so good for us. But at the same time, on the other side of that is an incredible sense of freedom that you otherwise wouldn't have had. And that is nothing but a good thing. And once you free yourself of these things that are holding you back and these things that don't serve you, it leaves room in your life for so many more new and wonderful things to come in. The next card is life will be a roller coaster. Enjoy the ride and stop trying to be in control. As humans, it is our nature to want to be in control of everything that is going on. And I get it. I'm one of those people. I have an irrational fear of boats, and it makes no sense. But I also know that the few times I have gone on a boat, it's because I have had a sense of control over what's happening. And so I understand that that is something that has more to do with what's going on for me. But the reality is, in life, we don't always have control, and that's okay. And you have to be ready to embrace it and enjoy the ride for better or worse, and trust that the universe is taking you where you need to go. And all the highs and lows that come with that loss of control, that will make you stronger. It will make you appreciate things that are brought into your life. It will make life more exciting. And really, if you fight it, it's going to make the journey tough. Whereas if you embrace it and just kind of go, you know what, this is what it is, and we're going for the ride, life will be so much more fun. Okay, the wheel will turn in your favor. Keep going. So that's your reminder that the universe has you, even if you're on this roller coaster ride and you're not in control and it's freaking you out. It will be okay. The universe absolutely has you. So you have to trust that and just keep going. Um, for those that haven't seen it, I just did the weekly reading live from the 1st of December through to the 7th, I think it is, because I did it on a Sunday, because I'm not available to film Monday and I didn't want to leave you guys without a weekly reading. So I'll be back next Monday. But there's going to be a few twists and turns just in this week. So go watch that reading. I obviously explain it fully, but just know that it's going to be okay. So the first card from the butterfly effect is teach. You'll one day share your stories with others. You have the power and a lot more than you realize. Speaking up about your experiences about what's important to you is a way to create change. So this is part of that travel as much as you can. And also, well, really, this is kind of telling you why you need to release the control. Say yes to the opportunities that are coming your way. All of it, because you will be able to pass that wisdom on, whether it be the wisdom of reconnecting with somebody from your past and being open to having whatever conversation or experience with that person. Traveling, like I said, it changes your perspective on life. It gives you get to see things through another person's lens. You get to see things from another angle, and that is nothing but beneficial. And that changes it. When you are strong enough to break free from what isn't serving you and you step forward into this new part of life, that adds dimension to your life versus being someone who's stuck in the same routine for the entirety of their life. And then getting on that roller coaster and letting go of control and going on the journey is so freaking exciting. And people love hearing those stories because it inspires them to be just as brave as you were. So know that everything you're experiencing will allow you to help others reach their potential. Recognition, the spotlight is on you. Not only will you accomplish your goals and come out on top, but others will also recognize your success. You fought a good fight. So everything in this reading is good. You are going to get the recognition. You are going to help others get there. You have to let go. You have to let go and trust and enjoy. And the final butterfly effect card is partnership. A new partnership is making its way into your life who will see, okay. A new partnership is making its way into your life who will see your true potential and help you reach it. It could turn into a very beneficial partnership and possibly even romantic. So, like I said in the weekly reading, I I don't do love readings. That's not what I want to do, but the love cards have been jumping out the last few weeks. So there is clearly that energy around where relationships are coming into this and partnerships are starting. But this is also a partnership of work and things that can help you in your journey in life. So be open to it, be ready to embrace it, no matter what sort of partnership it is, whether it be business, whether it be romantic, just know that it is going to help you. So I just pulled one Oracle of the Fairies for each pile, and your fairy card is temptation. Are you in denial about an unhealthy habit, perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? This fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever its guise. So, whatever you are being tempted with that you already know is not good for you, it's time to quash whatever that is. So, I feel like this isn't going to be a surprise for the people who are getting this message. This is more a reminder that the universe knows what you're doing. And I mean, oh, sorry, it's Mercury retrograde. The focus today is in and out. It just is what it is. But you've got the snake in the tree, just like in the Garden of Eden. There is no apple, but you know what that conversation is. So don't give in to temptation if there's something that you know you're doing that you need to stop, whether it be you're drinking too much or you're just drinking too frequently, whether it's food that you're not meant to be eating, that you don't want to give up because it's your comfort food. It's time to take care of you. It's time to stop giving into that because it's not good for you and it's not serving you. And besides, you have so much going on, all for the better. Don't let whatever this is bring you back down. Well, this feels like a really exciting December for you guys. So I hope it's amazing. Okay, and now we are doing pile number 2. So if you pick the tiger's eye, this is your reading. I promise you it does get better. So I don't know if you've been having a tough time. I know for some people, 2024 has been really rough. But one of my favorite sayings in the whole world, and I use this when I'm working out, I use this when I'm sad about something or if I'm hurting, it is this too shall pass. So know whatever you're feeling that is feeling heavy or rough at the moment, it will get better. Nothing is permanent in this life. Everything shifts. When there is a storm that rolls in, it might be a really bad storm. Let's say it's a hurricane. I mean, Florida saw hurricanes back to back. My friends were in the firing line for both of them. And you know what? When the storm was past, the sun came out, and everybody came and started to get together as a community and help each other out and get things sorted, and life is good again for them. So just know that whatever you're going through, it does and will get better. Don't don't spend too much time in despair. Move through the emotions and release it. So whatever you're feeling, you are allowed to feel it. Do not get stuck in that place because like whatever you've been going through, that will pass. These feelings will pass unless you choose to hang on to them. And that's not healthy. And that is not going to help you move through this or get past it. So feel the feelings. You have to honor what is being brought up for you, but you just can't stay there. You have to find a healthy way to move through it. You will have financial security in life. So I don't know if the issues or the stress that you've been feeling are financial, but know that the universe always has our back. The universe is always working and conspiring to help us. We can sometimes stand in the way of that coming to fruition. But if it's money you're worried about, money will come. So you need to have a certain level of trust in the universe. And I understand that when things are really rough, that's a very difficult ask. But the reality is, it is the only way you're going to be able to sort of move forward and get through everything and end up where you're meant to be. If you need to break the rules, do it with conviction to make a difference. Listen, rules are meant to be broken. And there are moments in time where we are told that things must be done a certain way. And if we stick to that, it will never work. And all of the trailblazers in this world are people that went against what they were being told we needed to do. So be smart about your decisions. I'm not saying go and do anything stupid, but if there is a rule that you need to break to get to where you need to go, think about it, make smart choices, but do it so that the outcome is something that does make a difference for the better. And that's what you have to keep in mind when you're taking action like that. I love this card considering that clearly there has been struggle here. Give yourself some credit for how far you've come. Because this is the whole question, right? When we're struggling with things, we feel like a failure. Even if it's just we're locked in our emotions and we're feeling some kind of way, it's very easy to get very down on ourselves and feel like we've gotten nowhere, we've done nothing. And I'm not someone who likes to live in the past, but those are the moments where you have to look back at where you've come from. And you look back and you see that, and you're then able to recognize, hang on, I have done so much. I have come so far. I was stuck in this place and now I'm all the way over here. And it's not where I want to be, which is over there, but I have gotten myself here. So look how far I've come. So all of a sudden, to where I want to be, that journey isn't so big and it is achievable. So give yourself credit. I think this is one of the most important things to do. There was a time when I was trying to get out of a house that I was in, and I needed to paint it and I needed to do all these things. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to get this done, because I started and I had this great vision, and I hit a certain point and I went, I can't do this. And a girlfriend turned up to my rescue. I didn't know she was coming in, and she helped me. And I remember there was a moment where because I was overwhelmed by what it was I needed to do. But then I took a moment and looked at everything I'd achieved. And all of a sudden I went, I can do this. I'm already halfway through everything that I need to do. So why am I freaking out? And so taking that pause to have a look back at what I had achieved gave me the fuel to keep going. So it is so important to give yourself that credit. We're moving on to the butterfly effect deck, which is MahrukhX again. So the first card is health. Expect to have a boost in your energy levels or an increase of healthy activities that will greatly improve your overall health, as well as help you maintain a positive mindset. One of the most important things in this world is our health. And you have to remember that, first of all, your health will affect your mental health. So if you're struggling with things, if you're fighting to get through a really tough time, if you are unhealthy, it becomes so much harder. The other thing is, if you're struggling and you are in despair and you're dealing with all these emotions, getting outside and being active is one of the greatest ways that you can get your endorphins flowing and just boost yourself. And when you are feeling physically strong, suddenly everything else becomes a little bit easier. So you cannot stress the importance of health. The other thing is with this, it's reasonably easy to maintain your health. Staying active, keep moving, even if it's just a walk every day, even if it's just 20 minutes, but you're moving, eating good food, just doing things that helps and that keeps you healthy. The moment you lose your health, trying to get it back becomes so much harder, and you don't need that adding on to everything else that you have going on. So make sure you are taking care of you in amongst all of this. Whenever I'm having a really low day, and I walk most days because that is what clears my mind and keeps me grounded and happy and all the things that I need to be able to function and be bearable to be around for other people. Um, where was I going with that? Oh, if I'm feeling low, the last thing I want to do is go for a walk. That's when I want to hibernate on the couch under a blanket and watch a bad movie or something. I will always make myself go for a walk because 95% of the time I get home, I don't want to curl up under the blanket anymore. I'm feeling so much better. It's given me time to think. It's put life into perspective as I'm looking at the flowers blooming or at the moment the leaves falling to the ground. I love when the leaves turn. It's just beautiful. And then I'm ready to keep going. If I get home from my walk and then I still want to hibernate, well, then I let myself do it and it's fine because you know what? I got up, I got moving, I did things to take care of myself, and I know that I'm okay. So just keep that in mind. The Empress is your next card. You're transforming into the Empress. You will feel more confident, looking better, and realizing your own worth and standing up for what you deserve. No more settling for less. See, you're coming out the other side, and maybe you've been on a really rough journey and you've been through it, but things are turning. The light, you're at the light at the end of the tunnel. So the only thing I will say here is make sure you are helping yourself get there a little bit faster because you don't want to be choosing to stay in the darkness when you don't need to. So the third card here is inner child. You're ready to bring that inner child spirit out and open yourself up to new adventures. You'll realize that you don't have to take life so seriously. There's still plenty of fun to be had. And this is something that we do as adults. Everything becomes so serious and we think that we have to be grown-ups to the point that we lose our imaginations, we lose finding the joy in everything. I've had I've had a number of my exes say that when I get excited about things, I'm like a little kid. And it's because I really do take joy in simple things. And I think it's so important because otherwise life would just be this monotonous grind that nobody would enjoy. So make sure you just tap into that fun, free-spirited energy and just enjoy life. Allow yourself to feel that level of joy because you're allowed to. And then the Oracle of the Fairy card for you is purity. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart and within it, you will find the answer to your question. I always say we have the wisdom within us, but it's whether we choose to look for it or not. And you have it. So you already know what you need to do. You already understand why things have unfolded the way they have, and maybe you're scared to let go of something, maybe it hurts letting go of it, and that's fine. You can feel all of those things, but you know why this has happened, and maybe it's because I know there's better things waiting for you on the other side, but just know that you are better off where you're going. And if you need an answer, look within because you already have it. Pile number two, those of you that picked the tiger's eye, I hope this reading helps. And I'm so happy that you're at the end of this tumultuous cycle for you. And I'm so excited that this is where things start to turn around. And for those of you who picked pile number three, which was our clear quartz, let's take a look at the cards drawn for you. Okay, it helps if I have them the right way. Learn how to honor and treat your body well. So, I don't know if you haven't been taking care of yourself, or maybe there are some things that you need to shift. And self care for all of us is something different. Um, I recently went and had my blood analyzed and discovered that some of my favorite things to eat are actually really, really not good for my system. And it has been a journey trying to find a new way to eat. But I will say I am feeling better for it. I'm looking better for it. My skin is better. I am probably sleeping better. Um, so for some people, it might be changing their eating habits. For others, it might be drinking less or starting yoga, going and doing a dance class, going for a walk, doing something. But whatever it is, find a way to honor your body and treat it better than what you have been. And the fact that we're in December, we're in the final month of 2024, what a perfect way to lead into 2025. How are we in 2025? I'm not even going to go there. But rather than getting to New Year's Day and going, okay, it's the new year, I'm going to start now and hit the ground running in 2025 as opposed to going, right, I've got to get started. Card number 2, there's nothing outside of you that can fulfill you. I think I think Mercury is very retrograde. There we go. We are so disconnected as a society that we're always looking for something to fulfill us, something to make us feel whole, whether it's another person, whether it's a material possession. And what we have to realize is everything is within us. And if we are happy and content within ourselves, we are good. And the reality is, you are good. You don't need anything. And it is time to do a little bit of soul searching and figure out what it is that will bring you joy, what it is you need to do to take care of you, and really get to know who you are at a deeper level. It is one of the best ways to serve yourself. Just, yep, one of the best ways to serve yourself. The next card is be patient, trust the wait, everything is coming together. Now, I understand impatience. I am one of the most impatient people you will ever meet. Everything that I decide I want and that I want to do, I want it to have happened yesterday because I don't want to wait. But the reality is, the saying good things come to those who wait is often very true. And sometimes the timing of things, we may want it differently, but the universe has other plans. And there's a reason why the universe times things the way that it does. And you have to trust it, no matter how frustrating it is. You have intuitive ideas that you really need to act upon. So if there's something that you've been thinking about and something that you want to do, it's time to get moving. And that's exciting. I love when we're at the beginning of an adventure because every possibility is before us. And it's so exciting watching something that our soul keeps telling us that we need to be doing. It's so exciting watching that come to life. So if there's something that's been going around and around and around in your head and you feel it at a soul level, it's time. And then the final card from this deck is change your perspective of the people that are around you and keep an open mind. I think we always see things through our own lens, and that's not a fault of anyone. It's human nature. We do see things through our own lens, and it's just the way that it is. But there are times where we have to be open to how others see things. I I had a rough childhood for various reasons. And obviously, whenever I think of that time, I think about it as I experienced it. But a year or two ago, my sister and I were talking about it, and she was telling me how she experienced it. And those experiences that were awful for me, and they were awful for me, were awful for her in a completely different way. And I had never, ever, ever thought of her perspective in those situations. And that can change how you approach a situation, how you communicate with this other person, because there is a reason why they see it differently than you do and why they experience it differently. And if you can understand that at a deeper level, that will allow you to approach situations with more understanding, more compassion, just have a deeper level of understanding. Because as much as we feel that the world revolves around us, it doesn't. And we need to be sympathetic to that. And if you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about situations and how they affected other people, it could blow your worldview wide open for the better. So just keep that in mind if there's something that you're dealing with. So, with the butterfly effect cards, your first card is reconciliation. An old love interest will come back wanting to reconcile and rebuild. It may be worth hearing, it may be worth hearing what they have to say, but it's up to you if you want to give them a second chance. So, in a number of the readings, we've had reconciliation, people coming back from the past. It all makes sense because we have Mercury retrograde right now. And I know every Mercury retrograde, people from my past, whether they be friends, lovers, whatever, they make an appearance. And it's always the ones that I don't expect. But sometimes having somebody come back in, it can give you closure, which can be a wonderful thing. Um, Sometimes it's as simple as a conversation which changes the ending, even though it doesn't rekindle anything. I have a theory that things, when they end, are left in the past for a reason, but obviously only you can be the decider of what is best for you. So if you do decide to give that person a second chance, just be thoughtful as you're doing that, because you don't want to get yourself in a situation where history repeats itself if it wasn't a good situation for you. But always be open, have the conversation. And you know what? Maybe it might just lead to a friendship. So it's a change of dynamic that you're able to keep them in your life without it being necessarily a romantic pairing as such. The next card from this deck is healing. You're healing your body by releasing any trapped emotions and giving yourself enough time to understand the lessons your pain is trying to teach you. So I feel like the fact that this came out with the reconciliation card, I do feel like there is healing often when somebody from our past comes back. Um, for me, for my experience, it has allowed me sometimes to ask a question that I might need to ask or get clarity around things. It's always helpful, but whatever emotions it brings up, feel it and move through it, because it will be healing and cathartic to go through that and to finally be able to release it. So whatever it brings up, ride the wave and then let it go. Just don't ever get stuck there. And that's something that gets us all from time to time. And the final card from the butterfly effect deck is patience. You've put in the work and now you're waiting to reap the benefits. Keep believing that your season is coming. The the good you have put out in your life will manifest. There is no need to rush it. So you've already been told once in this reading, be patient, trust the wait, everything is coming together. Again, you've done the work. Things are coming in. So you have to trust. You have to let go of this expectation of timing, because the universe laughs when we have timing put on things. So you just got to go with it, but know that it is coming. Everything that you've worked towards and all the good things are coming through. So, the Oracle of the Fairies card for you guys is Nature's Signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We only need to open our hearts and minds. Okay, we're doing this again. When I go on my walks, I have discovered that if I ask questions of the universe, different signs will appear. Sometimes there will be a trail of coins. And I mean, with so many less people using actual cash these days, coins on the ground are not that common, but I will find them in the most random of places. There are moments where I'm having a conversation with the universe, and as I'm asking the question, a hummingbird will fly directly in my face. There are always signs if you're open to them. So, getting outside, apart from it grounding you, if you're outside in the daylight, it'll give you vitamin D, all the good things that you need for your health, but also giving you the connection to the universe that you need if you're open to hearing it. And at a time where you're being told to be patient, even if that is not necessarily what you want, getting those signs from the universe may be enough to keep yourself in check while you're waiting for these things to finally come to fruition for you. But all in all, I feel like it's a good December for you. There is patience, but if you're treating yourself well and you're sort of going with the flow, and I think this opening your mind and trying to see things from other people's perspective is incredibly important. And I think that will help open up so much for you. Um, I hope this reading has helped, and I wish you nothing but a wonderful December. So, for those of you that have made it to the end, thank you so much for tuning in for this monthly reading. As always, please like, share, subscribe, comment below, and let me know which pile you picked and how accurate it was, or even if it wasn't. I'd like to know. I love hearing about when we get it right and when we tune in to what is meant for us. I love that the cards always have very clear and very distinct messages for everyone. Also, the weekly reading is out, so make sure you go and check that out. And I will be back. I'll be back next Monday for the weekly Oracle Wisdom, and I will be back. I might film it at the very end of December for January's reading for 2025. Can you believe it? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon.